Hello everyone, I'm back with more Code Vein, and today we are going to be exploring a different section of the world. Through the blah, we'll be exploring a different section of the world. We'll actually be going back to the ruined city, because if you remember from the previous clip, we were told, well, not from the previous clip, but from the previous episode, or the depths. Man, really gotta do something about this. Before the depths, we were told that we need to head back to the old city ruins in order to find out where the next blood spring is. Unfortunately, I would have had special guests today, but their audio got corrupted. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wait 2 or 3 more episodes before I can do this. And I guess I should explain this now, while we're in a smaller period. Um, I can't
Don't
record
lose your
stuff
footing.
with my, well, let me rephrase this. I can record stuff on my Xbox, but the thing I used to like kind of do the little transitions right there, and then like the custom made fade to black one that I did earlier in the video, well, not custom made, but the one I used. Um, the reason I did had to use that was because Upload Studio, the thing I was using on Xbox, Xbox no longer supports it. They haven't updated in like a year, so now I'm gonna have to start transitioning these videos to be a bit closer and more combined in a looser fashion. So if you see things that look even choppier than they were before, yeah, that's the reason. So yeah, as you can tell, this is gonna be post edit because, well, like I said, the audio got corrupted. I didn't do
Pick up
anything about
something
it.
we can use?
Let me rephrase that. Not corrupted. Just that the way I record audio off my computer, I basically have to be like right in front of it, as you can kind of tell. With
I won't take
my
long.
special guest, who I'll probably still
Steep.
link in the
How far
description.
down does it go?
Um, I'll still link them in the description. They just I'll link their their channel in the description. But they were going to comment on me, and that's why like some of the
On my
video
way.
looks like it's going at a slower rate. You saw like in the earlier, like if I'm just like kind of moving the camera and walking around, like you just see me just go do do do. Um, just kind of like going back and forth and taking long pauses because I was talking with the guest at so but I guess I could just since we're doing this in post, I guess I'll just comment on it here and now because it'll just be easier. Um, you see, we're heading down this pit because this is where we need to go to find the next blood spring. And if you remember way back a few episodes ago where I said, remember the spot, this is the reason. You're going down here to explore a new blood spring. Now, you don't have to go here
What a
last or
strange
second. You
place.
can actually come here first if you want to. And I guess that's kind of the beauty of this thing. If you come here first, it's a bit more interesting to kind of see and
This
watch.
elevator running.
But due to that fact, it can kind of get a bit trippy at certain parts. Like, oh, this person's been where if you like, I guess spoilers right now, even though this game is almost, I believe, like a year old at this point. A character that we get here, they would, I lost my train of thought. I got distracted by the elevator because Louis, when it wouldn't work, and then this teleport. I guess I'll just stop there though. I'm rambling at this point. So we have to wait for the elevator, and that can be quite annoying.
This
Because
sort of place I'd expect an elevator.
it's just that the problem with the elevator is that it will take a while, and you actually do need to head all the way down the elevator the hole in order to reach the elevator, and that's the only way to send it back up. So they're essentially using like the Dark Souls logic. Explore the area a little bit, then you have access to the fast shuttle. In this case, the elevator. And just wait in here. Like, I would have been talking with someone else, but like I have to record this all in one go, so I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. So I guess I'll just go back to the whole upload studio thing until we get to a cutscene. Um, the upload studio, it just hasn't been it was stopped being it's just like I said earlier, it was stopped being supported by Xbox because Xbox hasn't uploaded it in like a year. So now the screen transitions are gonna be way more choppy. I'm going to have to use like that one screen transition I was talking about. Multiple times, so like it'll press play like, all right, we'll be back in a bit. If it goes well, I'll use it for like the big transitions in this episode. It will be more of the choppier transitions, like, oh, this transition looks bad. Yes, I'll probably receive that, or I'm gonna get that comment from multiple people in the future, or whenever, if people start flooding my channel eventually, or never. I don't know. Uh, the idea is that, well, there's just problems. So we're actually, I just can't do that anymore. So now it's gonna be bad. Anyways, we're coming up on a cutscene, so that means it's time for me to start shutting my mouth and allowing the video to start playing a bit. Well, by what I don't know the exact times because this doesn't the way I have this set up. It doesn't show me the exact times. So you might hear something, you might not, and I'm not sure. Like I said, I was talking with my dad. I was talking with my my special guest was my dad, who also has a YouTube channel. That's who I was talking to. I'll still link his channel in the description as like a way of like saying like, oh, I'm sorry for what happened. We'll try to record another episode in a bit, so that'll be a while. Who knows? But hopefully it'll be soon and not in the next million years. Yeah, I know. Anyways, our objective, as you can see, is that burning oil field in the distance, and that's why we're just kind of like holding on this, because again, I was talking with my dad, who was my special guest. And then I had to hold up and try to get the transition, everything going all right. Yes, I know I am sounding boring, but skip. Now it's time for me to be quiet.
Just cut straight through the mist. I'll take a bit more than that to keep us from getting lost.
Let's take a break here.
Oh, this? It's called onigiri. It's a kind of food that's easy to carry around. Not that there's any point in eating food for a revenant. Although we may thirst for blood, we never grow hungry. Still, I think that makes eating all the more meaningful for us. We fight. We drink blood. We revive. We fight some more. Our lives are pretty much one endless loop. But every time you go around, you almost forget that we were all human once. If I completely lost the memory of my human past, I wouldn't be me anymore. I would just be something in the shape of me. I'd look like a revenant, but on the inside I'd be no different than the lost. What's the point of living like that? I served in the army, back before I became a revenant. We always used to eat these things when we were out on missions. I guess it helps me remember. It was a miserable time, but I made some good friends that I shouldn't let myself forget. This stuff doesn't really taste that great, but eating it always reminds me of those friends. So, I guess you could say it helps me stay me. It's been an important companion in my life.
Okay, all set. Come on, let's get going. There's a blood spring up ahead. Be careful not to lose your bearings, all right? If we get split up in this mist, we may never be able to find each other again.
All right. So the many wise words of Yakumo, because I don't know, maybe I want to say maybe it was stereotyped that Yakumo gives the words of wisdom. He always has like this sagely music in the background whenever he talks, or when he's giving like one of his inspirational speeches. That'll be Yakumo's nickname, inspirational speech guy. Because out of everyone, he gives the most inspirational speeches. Like, if I remember correctly, he's like what, the only one? No,
Looks
no, no,
like
no,
someone
no,
has
he
used
doesn't.
this before.
Anyways, I'll start commentating on this now. Um, like I said, it was before the cut and the poorly transitioned timings because of the recording. You want to like these markers. These markers are our way of seeing through the mist because as much as I say I like this game, and I really do like this game, there is just
The
so
city must have
many
fallen from that
areas in
hole
this
up
game
there.
that I come to dislike.
I thought
Putting
it
it
would be easier
nicely,
to see.
I dislike a good portion of these stages because the game is designed for two players, or at least two people going through these areas. You, the AI partner, and if you want, you can call in an additional partner, an actual player to play the game with you. Now, there's nothing against it. It's just like that. This is nothing against the areas. They were designed with this thing
Walk
in
carefully.
mind, and thus, that technically by itself is good design. You make the areas hard or easy depending on if they have a player character coming with them. Well, what I mean is that they have it designed for two players to go through at the minute. Like I've been saying in preview, all these parts. Do not play this game first try on your own because
Let's use it
you
well.
will die. You are not going to do that well on your own unless you are persistent enough or pig-headed enough, whatever your word of choice is, to go through it. Anyways, the reason you want to basically go to the right area first is because
Watch out.
if we
Enemy
slowly
presence.
walk up, we come to lost. Two of these newer types of enemies you saw me kill earlier. My dad, funnily enough, called them roaches or shrimp, depending on which one you prefer. I prefer roaches because that's what I think they look like. Kind of roaches look like this, like horrifying. Got lucky with that backstab, and Louis comes in and kills him. Anyways, getting back to it, the reason why I come up here, you hear that? That's another vestige. However, you want to first turn on the
We've ended
smarter
up
because
somewhere more
again, it
open.
just lights the way. Lighting the way just helps immensely in this area, the Howling Pit. The Howling Pit is
This
a
fire will
confusing
make a good
labyrinth
waypoint.
of a maze, at least in the very beginning. Just getting to, if you get to the halfway point, that's it, that you're good. But I would suggest kind of
I'll have
exploring
to
this
take
area
good
the whole
care of
way.
that.
Anyways, pick this up. That's the Atlas Versus 1. But wait, we don't have the Atlas Blood Code. Well, the reason for that is because the Atlas Blood Code belongs to our inspirational speech man, Yakumo. Um, I will probably show it off in the next episode. Well, actually, I won't because I already recorded it. But maybe I'll clip it in somewhere eventually, or I probably won't. The reason you want, well, you get that Atlas Blood Code. That's like the only. That's the reason you want to pick these up because you unlock more abilities because each one's tied to another. And just like the previous, not the previous area, but like the city ruined area and how I mentioned that before. Each character has their own blood code, and usually another character tied to them with that blood code. In this case, for Yakumo's, we will also, like similar to Louis and Kevin's situation, we will also be fighting his support partner's blood code in this area. And, well, I will try to match some of the gifts off screen. Where
Do you still have some
I already
fuel
have like
left?
the other two parts recorded with the actual audio in place. So if it sound like my voice is like dry or like scratchy, it's because we recorded the audio for this episode, and my audio came through, but my dad's didn't. so it created some problems there. But
I hope we're done here soon.
it was fun. It was fun recording it, but
That's
we were kind of like throwing things back at each other off, and it was kind of fun. But the problem is like my mood, the thing that soured my mood of that map right now is that my computer didn't pick up on it, so now I'm kind of upset. Now that I basically have to lay down in front of this, or I had to have my computer on my lap, which will cause it to heat up and probably give me burns. Not burns, but my leg will be hurting for a while. To record it for us, and we both had to be like right in front of it. Again, I'm going back to rambling, but yeah, going back to the Howling Prison area. The first part of it is kind of labyrinthy, even though like right here, that's where we come up to the halfway point. I actually don't go up there because I want to find.
Wait, that's...
Yeah, Assassin Vestiges Part B. I believe like most, all except for like 2 vestiges for Atlas and Assassin are in the front part of this area. Like they get almost their whole blood coat in the front part of the area before you even reach like I believe the halfway point. So yeah, you see I go up there, I'm like, oh wait, I can't go up there yet. I need to go out and find the other part first. I believe this is the part where I am going to cut. I was cutting to it to like record. Yeah, this is the part. I cut because my dad wanted to see who Yakumo was. He was like, "Who the heck is Yakumo?" I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Okay, let's
And
get going.
I cut right there to come back to show Yakumo. My dad was like, "What the heck is that?" Uh, my dad's a bit on the older side, and no disrespect to that man because
This mist.
he's still incredibly fit despite
Be
being
careful
a
not
bit.
to slip.
Well, he's not old,
Bring it
but
anytime.
he's like older in the sense that like he still looks relatively young. If you were to guess his age, you'd probably be wrong. um, yeah, that's the whole reason the cut was there, to come back and show Yakumo. And again, the Howling Pit area, you see, I'll probably show it in a later part. You see how big the area is. I keep coming back to this. I love this game. Despite the fact that I hate most of its areas. I like the gameplay, I like the combat, I love the characters, I love the story, even though it can get a little bit cheesy at times, because like, it gets a little cheesy at times, because like the game was marketed as like edgy vampires in the apocalypse, when it's kind of like the power of friendship. I like all these things about this game, obviously. Or maybe I'm a masochist, I don't know, I play a lot of RPGs. And maybe I'm a sucker for hardness and dark. These games, they're good. It's just like the areas are designed for 2 players, at the minimum, or at least a player and an AI companion. And that's good that you're balancing the areas around that. But I won't deny that some of these areas have a labyrinth-like design to them. Going back to like the dried up trenches, that area, while not as big, you can probably argue that it had like a bit of a maze-like qualities to it. Because like you had to go from certain areas, like you had to go climb above, you had to climb off, you had to explore areas that you realistically wouldn't think about. And yeah, I think this is getting close to the fire. No, I'm digging up a further part in the future.
Let's try to get the
Anyways,
lay of the land.
clearing out all these enemies. Yeah, I'm rambling over this,
that's
but like,
Lowe's.
hey, you
Enemy
might as well
right
have
by us.
something going in the background. The reason you want to come up to you want to explore these further areas because you just want to get the vestiges. Not for 100%, well, you do need them for 100%. I'm needy at times, yeah, I know. The reason you want to do these is because, well, for me, it's more content, more things for you guys to watch. That's good for me. But I also like seeing these, even though I've played this game like 3 times at this point, and I fought and killed most of the bosses, including the only exception boss I have not killed is like the Roaring Thunder DLC boss. I haven't even fought him yet. And that was before I even started recording videos for this game with like the original character I made.
Great. That'll work
What
as
was
a
I saying? I
marker.
lost my train of thought. Wow, this is the problem with me recording these afterwards. Instead of like trying to explain, I'm trying to explain all these things. I'm just going off on random tangents. Um, Vestiges, right? That's where we're at. You want to get certain vestiges here, and
That's
like I said, the assassin one and the atlas one, I believe, with the exception of like one part, like they're all, and the assassin's core is down here as well. I guess it's just kind of like to tell you guys this now. If you find a core anywhere else, that's a good indicator that the character is
It looks the
dead.
same everywhere.
Usually, if you get someone's blood code, you'll see this with most of the characters, like we did with Davis in the previous episode when we were exploring the depths, and when we first talked to Louis when we first played the game, when we got back to the church area, the keys or whatever the heck I called it. The reason you hear that little like
You
that
have to
squish
take
down the
whatever you
pit
can use.
is because they're basically just giving you their blood to get the blood code because you're a void type. So yeah, if you just find the core out in the field like we did for the Dark Seeker when we were talking about that character, where I did make a tiny video on, even though that was just it, that's the lore of the Dark Seeker, that's it. Yeah, we had support, but we also just saw the body disappear, turn to ash, or not really turn to ash, turn to stone more like it. And saw trouble with that. Yeah, the core is, and if you find the core anywhere, that's just a good in character that the character's dead. And yeah, that's it. Like, I believe you find a few of them out in the world, with like one exception, I want to say. Like, there's only one exception
Always
of
look
you
forward to
finding a
this.
character's. I'm probably wrong. I'm thinking wrong. Cause no. There's two. You'll see this later with some bosses, so I actually won't go into it here. And the reason I changed up this like costume, was basically just kind of like I was explaining the blood veil types to my dad again,
Can't
and
say
like
I'm
how
gonna
each
stick
ones have
around
different
long.
variations. I just picked this one again because it was the stronger armor I had, and I just don't upgrade them. Probably in like future parts off screen, because like I said, I already recorded the other parts. Like before I get to like something major, I will maybe grind a little off screen, or I will come in and try to trying to explain myself. I'll try before I try the whole thing and try to get stronger. I will grind off screen, maybe buy some gifts. I'm not sure, because you'll see in the next part. Because like, I keep repeating myself. I suck at this, even though I took a speech class. um, the whole point of this is to it's just to grind a little bit to maybe get the skills I want. Because I believe until I get a blood code a bit later in the game, I will primarily use Prometheus. Oh yeah. We're actually coming up towards the end here. Yeah, you can kind of see by the video time. This will be like the last part, unfortunately, because I was coming up. That's coming up on my recording limit. Oh my goodness, I hate these sea urchins. Yeah, that's what they are. They're giant sea urchins. I hate these enemies. Anyways, kill them, heal, and yeah, I'll grab this. And by Yuzla Yakumo, that took a lot of effort. I will purify this missile room, and that'll be it, guys. That's like me coming up on the last point of
Making sure
this.
your gear's
We
good.
are, you see, we explored like a good 33%. That area is huge, and we still haven't found the other area. Anyways, guys, this will have to be the end of the video. I am sorry for my rambling sake. This was just a problem of the time, unfortunately. Hopefully next time we won't have any troubles. I hope everyone enjoys the video. I hope that everyone has a great day, and I will catch you guys later. And probably not, because the video's still going. Yeah, I was talking with my dad. Oh my gosh, this is so ruined now. My dad was trying to say like, comment, subscribe. My brother was talking in the background because he was in there recording with us. Even though don't leave. um, yeah, this is so ruined now. Wow, I screwed this up. I screwed the pooch. Man, so many problems. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you. Later.